Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I thought I would give you a little update on what I'm working on right now, working on today. I'm back on my drill indexes and working on some of the first original batch that we had machined and sent out for anodizing. We still have several of those in stock. And I'm making some modifications to them, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm setting them back up. These are completely finished drill indexes, ready to sell. But I decided I wanted to make a modification to the design. And what I'm doing, I should have grabbed, I got one right over here. Let me just grab one out of the box. So this is from anodizing right here. What we usually do is once an order comes through, we take them out, right? And then we go ahead and put the little rubber feet on the bottom of it, and then we box it up and ship it out to the customer. What I have been wanting to play with, and this is through some of my own ideas, and especially many of the viewers out there that have been making suggestions and ideas. I'm engraving now the fractional characters around the racetrack here, you know, the fractional numbers that correspond to the hole for the drill that sits in them. And then I'm making a little pass right across the top of the logo to add some contrast to it, to give it a little bit better, I would think a little bit better look to the part itself, a little bit more appealing whenever you're looking at the part. On top of that, it actually is easier to read the fractions once they're engraved after the anodizing. So I had a lot of people suggest that. That's something that I thought about as well whenever we were machining these. But you know, one step at a time. You learn as you go. You make a part and you think about what you could do to make it better, make it pop a little bit more, make it more appealing, whatever that is. So this is what we're working on today. I've got a box down there that's full of green that's still in stock, and I'm going to go ahead and get all of those knocked out and go ahead and get them, get the rubber feet on them, get the rubber feet pushed on them, and get them boxed up and stacked up, ready to go. So that's what we are working on. There's two separate operations. One is the ball mill, 1/16 diameter ball mill, and this is one of the things that I find really fascinating about CNC is the ultra precision that it puts into the work there. So I was concerned about lining up with the fractional numbers that's already been machined, and it wasn't even machined in this VM. It was over on the TRM where we did the initial engraving for the fractional characters, but it's lining up with them beautifully. Now I did have to spend some time over here adjusting my tool wear offset to get the tip of the tool perfectly aligned with these machined characters in there. So it just took a little while to kind of get that set. It took a little while to get this depth set to where I'm taking 1/1000ths off of this logo here just to take the anodizing off of it. So spent a little time getting that set. We're finally running nice. Everything's lining up really, really well. So it'll machine the fractions, and then it'll grab a 1/2 inch end mill and then just deck that logo off. The end mill, I've got it set. I slowed it down to try to increase the finish on it. So I've got the feed set at 1/1000ths per tooth. It's a 3-flute end mill. So it'll actually come down and just go around that one full time and mill that off there. So that's working pretty good. And I thought I would show you some color samples while we're at it. So the last batch that we sent up, which is actually still currently in process, they were having an issue with some of the parts and they're having to re-anodize them. So that's unfortunate, but they're working on it and they're trying to get it right. I was hoping to have those already back by now, which is going to be purple. Swapping over to the 1/2 inch end mill now, where it's going to deck off that logo. And I like just watching it to make sure that everything is lining up the way it should. This is going to deck that off. But anyway, I was going to show you some color samples that we had. I sent 4 up to have color samples done. So this is the orange. And I'm showing you guys this to kind of gauge what kind of interest there might be for other colors. So there's the orange, this is blue, and these are all stock colors that they offer. This is another green right here. They have 2 shades of green. The ones that we're working on is the OD green. That's what we had done. I really like the OD green. You can see the difference between the two. And one of them is a brighter green. This one's OD green, this one's just green. All right, and then the last color, which was one that I was personally excited to see, is the gold. That is pretty cool right there. I like the gold, but I don't know if this is gonna be a color that other people like. I don't know if it's worth having. This one that's got a blemish in it right there, see? So this was one that was it's gonna be a scratch and dent basically, if you will. But anyway, I like the gold. Let me know what you think. Do you like the gold? This might be one where it might be handy to have, you know, 10 or 20 of them sitting on the shelf in stock, in case those that might be wanting one of those. So anyway, I'll get some better video of the engraving and the milling there and kind of show you our process of dealing with this, and hopefully have a fun little video for you to watch today. Once we get them out of the machine and everything looks good, go ahead and put our little rubber feet on here. These are some 3M sticky backed little rubber pads. We have the little counter bore on the back of the drill index here so that they fit perfectly in the right spot. You just kind of set them in place and then make sure they're centered up before you push down on them, like that. Flip them over, push them down just to kind of make sure that the adhesive is sticking well. And we take a fresh poly bag, fold them over. Bagged and ready to go in a box. So the individual drill indexes, we've got these boxes here. Make sure I'm doing this right. These take a little bit of practice, and once you get the technique figured out, you can kind of blow through them pretty quickly. It definitely takes two hands to do this. Fold that one over, fold these flaps down. This one's not cooperating with me this morning. It's definitely not wanting to cooperate with me. This is a bad example right here. It's not wanting to stay together. I'm not going to use this box, but for video purposes anyway. Take our drill index. These boxes fit them beautifully. Put our packing slip. We'll put a decal in there. One of Abby's cards here. And tape them up. Ready to go out. Well, I think that's about wrapped up today's video. I wanted to give you an update on where I was at on the drill index production and the modifications that I decided to make to that. I think that the post-anodized engraving looks really nice on there, and I hope that you guys feel the same way about that. So I think that this is something that I'm going to probably implement going forward on any of the ones that we're going to be producing, and just kind of create that nice looking contrast on the color there. I've had people ask, you know, why I didn't do this to begin with, and this is just a natural progression of designing and trying to develop and design and produce a product. You know, you get to a point where you're happy with something, you make those, and then you keep thinking about what you can do to improve that, things to make it a better product or a more visually appealing product there. So it's just a natural progression, guys. That's all it is. And I'm happy with this, and I hope you guys like it too. I've had a lot of people ask about laser engraving them or laser etching them as well. And my answer to that is that, for one, we don't own a laser, not yet. It is something that we're very interested in. We are interested in investing in one of those machines. And even the anodizer, that's a service that they provide also. They could do that for me. But for me, this is a personal touch. I actually really like the machined engraving on there. I like the way it feels. I like the way it looks. And it's a machine touch, you know. I'm using the machine to machine those letters and those characters in there. I know that it takes longer to do that. I know that a laser machine could etch that very quickly, but we're talking about a small batch production, not thousands of parts. I mean, that's going to be a different animal. When you have thousands of parts, I get it. You want to use a laser engraver to quickly engrave parts in a matter of just seconds and be done. But I just think this is on a little bit different level. I'm not making thousands of these things, and we're not so much focused on every second of the day on how fast and how many of these things we can get out the door. I've been making 100 at a time. This is a personal project. This is something that I, in handling myself, getting all of this work done with the help of Abby, with some of the things, bagging and boxing them up and getting them ready to ship out and handling orders. These are all done by me and Abby, and I like the personal touch of the engraving of the letters on there. I do want to I would like to invest in a laser machine, and it is something that we're looking into, and that's something that we'll definitely play with. Putting the data on the bottom of the drill indexes with the laser, I think, is a little bit, would probably help there. This one doesn't necessarily need to be machined in there, but the top, I like the look of the ball mill finish in there with the letters. So that's the way that I want to continue doing this moving forward until it makes sense that we come up with a different method on speeding that up if we need to. So I really like the new color samples there as well. I don't know what everybody thinks about, we have our orange, our bright green, our blue, gold. I personally like the gold, and as I said earlier, I don't know if others are going to like the gold. But my hopes is that we can machine enough of these things where we can have a small inventory of different colors on the shelf ready to go at any time. So, if someone decides, hey, I'm ready to buy a drill index, and you'll have, maybe 4 colors to pick from on the website. We're not there yet, but that's what I would like to do. The next color in line that we're still waiting to get back is the purple, and we really, really like the way that the purple turned out. We posted this on our social channels, and we had a really great response. It seemed like a lot of folks just loved the purple. It's a really cool anodized color. So we decided the next batch was going to be the purple. So this is the one that we're waiting on here. We've got plenty of green still available. These are the only ones that are available right now is the green. But the red surprised us and sold out completely. We don't have any more in red. So the next batch that I sent up to anodizing, I'd like to go ahead and get some more of the red anodized and have those in stock too. So once we get the reds done, we should have, we'll have green, we'll have purple, and we'll have red. And then eventually maybe have one of these colors, have a small batch of those, 20 or so, anodized in a different color, and we'll have those on the shelf there as well. Keep in mind, if you go to the website, if you decide you'd like to order one of these from us, you can get them just the drill index by itself, or you can select to have it with the drills there as well. So we can sell you either one, put your own drills in there, or you can get a set of these Chicago Latrobe drills from us as well and have a nice complete unit. So I think that is going to wrap up today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed sharing the improvements and modifications that we made to our program and the overall look of our drill index. And I'm going to keep rolling with these. I've had a lot of people ask about a metric version, and I do want to say that I plan to make a metric version. I have a set of drills here that we're going to be using as our test subjects, and that is the next version of our drill index that I would like to make, is a metric version. So that's something that I'm hoping to be working on soon. I have some other ideas of some things that I want to create there as well, but as you guys know, it's just me out here in the shop getting all this done, and so my time is very limited on what all I can get pushed out the door, But we do have some other product ideas that I plan to implement and get rolling and utilizing our modern CNC equipment for that. So with that, we're out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you here on the next project. All right, we'll see you then.